I'm going to come up here and kind of talk before you go there,
Yes.
so I can go.
Yes.
But I want to talk a little bit about the legal part of it. I'm the sheriff of Jefferson County. I've been a police officer for almost 30 years, okay? Corey and I we're friends, all right? And so, and the important thing to know about that is, it's okay to agree with people on some issues and disagree with people on the other issue. When people see us together, they're like, how can you be the sheriff and agree with this guy? He's out here talking about smoking pot, smoking weed. We have some things in common. And the first thing I want to say, all of you guys probably have some things in common and some things that you don't like about each other. Okay, and that's important to recognize that. I'm not trying to put Corey in jail. I know that Corey smokes pot. Okay?
Using that soap too,
Yeah.
man.
The other thing is, guess what? I don't hate Corey. And I'm a cop, and Corey doesn't hate me. Okay? And so I think that's an important lesson. That's, you know, I'm so sick of hearing, every time I turn on the TV, everybody hating on each other. Okay? Law enforcement's not the enemy. We're not the enemy. Where we agree on a couple of things. I agree with medicinal medical use. And the reason that I agree with medicinal marijuana use is I've actually seen it work. I have a very good friend of a friend of mine who's a small child who's having seizures, and he had to go to Colorado to get the cannabis oil, and he's no longer having seizures. There's a lot of study and research has been done on the benefits of, you know, and Corey's already kind of talked about some of those benefits, and so that's important. One of the reasons that Corey and I came together is to talk about legislation, how locally we can do some things that we can do. I don't want my guys, particularly stopping some cancer patient who is using cannabis or marijuana because a doctor has prescribed it, to make them feel better. Quality of life issues. And so for me, there's no just white or black answer. There's a little gray area there. And so I'm actively trying to help our community and even other communities. I've been to Austin, and I've been talking to our Sheriff's Association and other people who are conservative and won't listen to some of the benefits. The other thing that this affects is my jail. It affects your community. For every person that gets arrested on a misdemeanor drug charge for less than 4% of marijuana, they go to my jail. So you know what that does? That takes 2 police officers off the streets in most cases, because we have to transport the individual to jail and then book them in my jail and keep them in my jail on charges, where those guys or girls could be out patrolling the community or catching people, in my opinion, who are committing far worse crimes than, because on a 4 ounce or less, typically what happens, the person's going to get arrested, they're going to go into jail, and they're going to book out, probably before my guy even leaves the jail. The bail amounts on misdemeanor marijuana charges are very small. And so usually they'll be out, yeah, $500 is the bail, so they can get out for $50, 10% of that. And so now we've expended a lot of manpower to arrest somebody and bring them to jail. And guess how much it costs me to house somebody in our jail a day? A lot. About $158 a day per inmate when you consider food, medical attention, because as soon as you come to jail and we put you in a little orange uniform, then we got to give you medical treatment. So I'm feeding you, I got to provide you medical services, and I got to put you to sleep, wake you up and feed you breakfast and all that good stuff. And the other thing is the cost for my corrections officers. Their salaries, you know, are upwards, you know, probably the least amount an officer makes in corrections is somewhere about $45,000 a year. So now I got to pay his salary to watch you, all for a $50 amount of marijuana. Does that make sense to anybody in here? No, to me. And so what I'd rather be doing, and in the state of Texas you can actually do this, it's a program called Cite and Release. Okay? Harris County does it. Some of the other counties in our great state do that. Where if I stop you with less than 4 ounces of weed, I can write you a citation and send you on your way. And then you got to come to court and talk to the judge and take care of it. If you've been convicted before of drug charges, then you don't get that. In many cases, you don't. You know, it's for first-time users, and so it's not just letting every weed head out there just get high every day. We just keep writing them tickets over and over. It also has some conditions that you have to do some other stuff that they'll spell out as a condition of your citation. But so, again, I think there are better ways of doing what we're doing. Corey also said that the majority of people who get arrested on misdemeanor, or not even misdemeanor, on felony drug charges are minorities. It's no secret to that. And so one of the things that we have to do a better job, when I say we, me, as a police administrator, is, and I'm trying to do that already, is hire a different kind of police officer. I'm looking for people who are not racist or biased against people of color, against women, against people from the LGBT community. And I think that's important. In the short time that I've been sheriff, you already see it's much more diverse. We've got gay guys, gay girls. We hired our first Asian female on patrol last week. We've got several Hispanics, females and males. And so I believe that if you put people on the street who looks like everybody and acts like everybody and comes from everybody's community, then they're less likely to be targeting certain communities, which hopefully should start seeing a drop. If everybody across the nation did that, I think we just really would be arresting real crooks and not just using, I call them BS, reasons to stop people, because in certain neighborhoods, it's a great way, if I see you walking down the street and there's a sidewalk provided, and I know you got weed, because I know you, because I work that neighborhood. And so, yeah, so I just want to jack with you today. So I can arrest you on a BS charge of walking on roadway where sidewalk provided. You know that?
Jaywalking, right? Basically.
It's actually called walking on roadway where sidewalk provided. So I can pull you over and do that, and that gives me the PC to pat you down and search you. Ah, I found your little doobie, and then take you to jail. And that's a pretext stop, and they happen all the time. And I know that happens. And so the way to stop that from happening is if we start doing some cite and release stuff, and again, hiring a more professional officer. And I think we're going to get there. We're going to get there. But we have to keep having the conversations. We can't be judgmental. A lot of people look at Corey and says, he's an old dopehead. Why is he here? He hears it all the time. He hears it all the time. But the reality is you can't tell by looking at people who they are and what they're about. Whether they look like him or whether they look like me. Because when I'm looking cute, you can't tell that I'm a sheriff. All right?
That's right.
And so we have to start teaching the older generation above us, and you guys have to start passing that information on to the younger generation that's coming up behind you, not to profile people. And also start thinking outside the box, okay? Thinking outside the box in terms of stuff like this. Do I get high? No, I don't smoke weed. That's not my thing, all right? Is it against the law in the state of Texas? It's still against the law in the state of Texas. Corey and I have had that conversation. And so when I encounter kids who tell me that they want to do it, now my personal beliefs are totally different. If you're a grown-up and you're minding your own business and I don't know you're smoking and you're in your house and I don't know, y'all hear what I said, and I don't know. I have no business knowing what you do in your house, okay? But if you outside and you're smoking and you're so high that you get into an accident and you hurt somebody, that's no different than somebody driving drunk, in my opinion. And so in my many conversations with Corey, we always talk about responsible use, okay? No matter what you do. If you're drinking, if you're smoking weed, whatever your choice or your vice is, you don't have the right to infringe on other people's safety, okay? Whether it's a gun, any of the stuff, you don't have the right. So that's when I get pissed off. Because I have family and friends that I care about, and I don't want somebody high or drunk hurting somebody that I care about. And so if you don't take anything from that, what I like to leave people with, I don't tell you who to vote for. I could care less. I couldn't have become sheriff if just Democrats voted for me. I got Republican friends. I got Democratic friends. I have independent friends. I have gay friends. All this stuff I've already shared with you, I have. And so what I'm telling you guys is you need to decide who you are by doing research. Get outside the box, talk to people, and make educated decisions about everything that you do. Everything you
Ignorance
do.
is a choice in today's modern technology.
Ignorance is that. And all you gotta do is turn on TV. Go home when you get off and turn on TV, and there's a lot of ignorance out there. And because you have a degree, and I have some, doesn't make you smart. Okay? It's about how you treat people, and it's how you do research, and what you deem will help make the world better. All right? Thank you, guys. And I've been knowing your teacher for a long time.